Earlier this morning, Tesla Model Y pricing was leaked to industry and corporate customers, with the electric midsize SUV set to start from $67,990 here in Australia for the base model variant. And today's video, we're going to talk about the grade structure, how much the Model Y is going to cost, what we reckon it's going to do in the sales figures, and the powertrains it's going to be offered with from its on-sale date, which is very imminent. So let me know in the comment section down below if you like the Tesla Model Y, if you're considering one, or if you have any feedback on electric cars or chasing cars in general. Let me know in the comment section, and if you haven't done so already, we'd also love it if you could hit subscribe. So let's talk about the grade structure, ignoring for a minute the elephant in the room that is the fact that Tesla hasn't priced the long-range dual-motor Model Y for Australia. If it did so, it would follow the exact structure of the Model 3's lineup in Australia. But anyway, let's talk about the base car, which starts from $67,990, gets everything that you expect from a Tesla, that 15-inch touchscreen, ultra minimal cabin, and extra niceties like a glass roof, heated seats with vinyl upholstery, and you also get electric adjustment for both front seats. All the stuff you expect from a car that has luxury claims. You also get Tesla's autopilot and safety suite rolled into that. Now, that's actually pretty decent when you compare it to other vehicles. For example, the Kia EV6, the sort of mid-size to large electric SUV, starts from $67,900 here in Australia, and you can push that vehicle up a little bit further. And it also undercuts vehicles such as the Hyundai Ioniq 5's price here in Australia. Now, the other model we've got to talk about is the flagship for the moment, Performance, which costs $98,172, which is pretty steep, and is going to bring that car's on-the-road price over $100,000, but you do get plenty of performance for that, including a 0 to 100 sprint of 3.7 seconds. So that's pretty impressive. But back to the elephant in the room, the long-range dual-motor variant that is probably going to be the most popular variant if it does come to Australia. We expect that to sort of be priced between $80,000 to $85,000, and we do understand that there are considerations of bringing that to Australia, though nothing has been totally confirmed by Tesla yet. So let's move on to the powertrains. The base car for $68,000 gets a 255 kilowatt rear motor hooked up to a 56 kilowatt battery pack. Now, this should make it the most efficient in terms of kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, though we don't have the ADR or the WLTP combined figures for this car yet, as it's not actually sold in the US, it's only sold in Hong Kong. A little bit of an interesting one there, reflecting the fact that our Tesla Model Ys are going to be coming from China, much like the Polestar 2, not built in Tesla's American factories. So you can let me know what you think of that in the comment section down below. Anyway, the short range rear drive vehicle has about 455 kilometers in WLTP testing according to Tesla's website. So that's pretty decent, and you can still fast charge at a pretty reasonable rate. The other vehicle that we have pricing for is the Performance. Now that thing is really quick. 413 kilowatts of power, 660 newton meters of torque, and as I mentioned before, you get all-wheel drive, which means 3.7 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometer an hour sprint is what Tesla claims. So yeah, pretty rapid for a mid-size family SUV. The range also improves owing to the fact that it has a larger battery pack, around 75 kilowatt hours of usable juice, though Tesla is a little bit funny about giving precise numbers for things like battery packs. Not entirely sure why, but they sort of shy away from giving complete exact numbers, unlike most other manufacturers. Anyway, it's got a 480 kilometer WLTP range for the most high performance model, which is pretty decent. Now down the track, we are expecting the mid-spec long-range dual-motor variant to land in Australia. That's going to have 393 kilowatts of power and 493 newton meters, and it's going to have the security of all-wheel drive, just like the Performance. It's just having its performance toned back a little bit, which gives it a little bit of extra range. So that climbs to 507 kilometers, which is decent. It's kind of that magic number of over 500 Ks where mentally an EV starts to make sense. Now, let's talk about fast charging, because while EVs make sense when you can fast charge, it is especially the case with Tesla that has a fantastic supercharger network here in Australia and around the world. So at ultra-rapid DC fast charge ports, the Model Y can charge it up to 210 kilowatts. That means 10 to 80% of charge can be recuperated in about half an hour. And if you want to charge it overnight, you can plug it into an 11 kilowatt wall box, and it'll take 8.5 hours while you sleep, which is how we understand most EV owners like to charge their vehicles. Finally, what about the sales figures, and what does the Model Y mean for Tesla in Australia? Well, for a start, it has the potential to double Tesla's sales figures, which are already pretty impressive for quite a young, small brand in the Australian market. After finally releasing their sales figures to the FCAI last year, we learned that over 12,000 Model 3s were delivered to customers in Australia, far exceeding vehicles like the BMW 3 Series and Audi A4 that would be traditional competitors for this vehicle, and even beating a whole bunch of mid-size SUVs that you would think fit into the traditional mindset of the Australian buyer. So the arrival of the Model Y, with our penchant for SUVs, and the fact that it is just advancing that game a little bit more than the Model 3, means that Tesla could really make inroads into the Australian market. Not saying that it hasn't done so already, but it could really just cement itself as the EV supplier for Australia. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And of course, it's going to be really interesting to see how it drives, which we haven't done yet, though soon we will have a full detailed walk around of the Tesla Model Y coming to the Chasing Cars YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, our editor Tom Baker is going to be taking you through all of that car's features, its interesting quirks and everything like that. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And if you love EV content, Tesla content, or just other content in general, let me know in the comment section down below as well. And as always, thanks for watching Chasing Cars.